Logic Pro. Today I would like to have a look into a nice feature in Logic 8 and 9 called Pack Take Folder, but from a different perspective. In fact, we're not going to use takes as from recordings, but pre-recorded material such as audio clips and loops. Now to do this, we've got this little drum loop going. It's a drum and bass loop. Very basic. And then I've selected 3 different bass lines from the Apple Loops library, but obviously you can do this with your own samples. Now let's have a quick listen at these bass lines. That's the first one, this is the second one, and this is the third one. Right, the idea here is to combine these 3 loops together into a more original and possibly more interesting bass pattern. Something that can obviously be done with traditional editing tools such as scissors and then chopping up parts and moving them around. But that requires a little bit of knowledge of editing skills and is quite tedious as well, at least compared with what I'm going to show you. So in order to pack these 3 regions into a take folder, you need to select them, control click and choose the first option here, Pack Take Folder. Now the 3 regions now are packed into this comp take folder. And at the top left corner you've got this triangle that when clicked will show you your 3 bass lines. And when you click on them, the comp region at the top will become active. I mean, will show the currently selected bass line. So first one, yeah, second one, and third one. So now we can make our baseline by quickly swiping our mouse over the sections we want to use. So for example, I might want to use the first 4 notes of the first bass line, then this note on the second bass line, then come back up here all the way to here just before that note, because there I want to use this one, then maybe up here again, and we finish up with these 2 last notes. Let's have a listen. Right, so this has made it slightly more interesting than before. There's more variation and it's been really easy. There's not chopping involved or anything, because Logic places little crossfades at every junction point, and so the result is very smooth. So at the top right corner here you've got a number of options, but for the moment I want you to concentrate on duplicate comp, because this will make another copy of this comp. See, comp 2, and you can have another version of this. So maybe you want to have just the first 2 notes here, and then you might want to go down with this one and then come back up there after the 3rd note maybe, and then we keep going all the way to here with the first bass line, and maybe use the last long note of the second bass line to finish off. Let's have a listen. Yeah, that's nice. Now if I zoom out a little bit, I can obviously copy the whole thing across and have the first comp 1 on the first 2 bars and comp 2 on the second 2 bars, and so they can play one after the other. So once you're happy with what you've done with your comp, you got some options up here to finalize your comps. First one is flatten, which will simply assemble your sections into the same track, adding all the fades, crossfades, to make it smooth. Or you can do the same thing with flatten and merge, but also obtain an independent audio file for it. So it will merge the regions together to create a new independent file. Another option is export active comp to new track, which will basically do the same as flatten, but will place the composition onto a new track. Or you can move the active comp to new track, which again will do the same thing onto a new track, but it will also remove the sections used from the composition. So if you want to carry on making other composition without using the previous ones, that's how you do it. So this is basically how you use the Packtake folder function with pre-recorded material such as loops and audio clips to create simple or actually very complex compositions with just a swipe of the mouse over your regions. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.